Hello, magical people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and today I'm going to be sharing our astrology horoscope for the weekend of September 27th and September 28th. Can you guys believe we are at the end of September 2025? This is absolutely crazy. We are about to enter October. We're getting close to the end of a Gregorian year. So, hope you guys are all doing well out there and really appreciate all of your support, all the loving messages myself, Jens, and Sunny have been getting as of late with our big change here on our channels. And we love you all very, very much. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment if you'd like to support, and share this video if you'd like to further support. It is greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to have a personal astrology reading with me or to check out my offerings, all of that is available in the description box of this video. And in particular, I want to give a little shout out to my husband Jens, who just released his new 14 Days to a Higher Vibration course. That's available over at the link below. Been getting some really nice reviews on his new course, and this has been something that Jens has been working a very long time on. One of the biggest pieces of feedback that we hear from clients is people want to know how to stay in a high vibration, live a high vibe life. So Jens really has done a masterclass, and there's a 50% off discount code that you can use in the description box below until October 7th on my husband Jens's new course. So, yeah, how's everybody doing out there? We've had some pretty intense astrology. Oh my God. Karen says, my birthday is on Sunday. Well, happy almost birthday to you, Karen. You know, this past week, we're coming off the heels of a solar eclipse in Virgo, an exact Mars square Pluto this past Wednesday. And as we go into this weekend, we have no exact astrological aspects. The moon is always making a lot of aspects because it is the fastest moving heavenly body from our perspective. But in terms of the planets, no exact aspects going on, but definitely can talk about the astrology of what is happening. We're definitely still in the energy of this Mars square Pluto, which, as I said, was exact. I don't know why my mouse isn't showing up on the chart there, you guys. Okay, there. Now we go. There it is. Yeah, that was exact on Wednesday, and we're still in the energy of it as we go into this weekend. So, Mars, the god of the divine masculine, war, conflict, action, initiation, all things masculine, at home in Scorpio, in square to the other ruler of Scorpio, Pluto. So, this is definitely an intense energy, and I've been talking about this the whole past week, this Mars square Pluto. If you are feeling really easily irritated, you're having anger, frustration coming up, you have a little freak out, little meltdown. Okay, you're not going crazy. We're having a Mars square Pluto. So the astrological weather, we're actually being blessed because as of today, the moon has, later in the day today, I think it's around 5-ish p.m. Eastern, if I'm remembering correctly, moon ingresses into Sagittarius. So all weekend we will have the moon in Sagittarius. When we had that exact Mars square Pluto, it was with the moon in Scorpio on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, that is very intense, you guys. Can definitely be some intense situations in our personal lives, in the collective coming up as we've been seeing. And the energy is lightening up a bit now with the moon in Sagittarius all weekend. So, this is a beautiful energy for upliftment, optimism, luck, fun, expansion, rising above, seeing the higher perspective, even though there may be some challenging things going on. You know, with that Mars square Pluto, those two rulers of Scorpio in square, there can be an influence of power struggles. Okay. Karen says, I'm old enough to handle crazy energy. I can do this. Yes, we can do this, you guys. We can definitely do this. And we're leading up to a very interesting astrological aspect that I'm feeling guided to share with you guys that's not exact until October 4th, but we're starting to get within almost as we go into this weekend, 10-degree orb of conjunction between, yeah, it actually is starting this weekend. Wow, Venus is moving really fast. What the heck? We're going to be having a conjunction between Venus and the South Node. This will be exact, as I said, on October 4th. And this is a very strong aspect of the South Node letting go, karmic release, having to do with Venusian areas of life, love, lovers, marriages, work partnerships, committed relationships of any sort, contracts, obligations. So, and we just had that solar eclipse in Virgo, South Node in Virgo conjunct Venus. So, still, as we're leading up to October, we're still in that eclipse season influence and energy, really for the next few weeks. And there can still be an unraveling of some very big things that we're letting go of relationships, revenue streams, values that no longer serve. So, this whole actually autumn season in the Northern Hemisphere and winter, we are going through a huge release portal for many different reasons. And most of us are having that as a theme of life right now. Saturn in Pisces, Neptune ingressing into Pisces October 22nd. We just had full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, the second out of 3 in a row lunar eclipses in Pisces started last year going into next year, which Pisces is all about release, karmic release, past lives, soul level issues. Okay. Wolf Mother says huge release is an understatement. So if you're going through that right now, I'm definitely personally going through that right now, where there's a lot of different areas where there's very big releases happening. Um, we're all going through this together as a collective. Okay. I'm hearing spirits say, like, some of you guys may have a marriage ending out of nowhere, a work situation ending out of nowhere, a revenue stream ending seemingly out of nowhere, a health issue. Also, South Node and Venus in Virgo is our health issues coming to an end, right? So this is very big releases. Digibean says, who isn't releasing shit right now? I don't know. Is there anybody? Because I feel like it is a lot of us. So yeah, we're leading to that South Node Venus conjunction. We got the Mars square Pluto this weekend, still within a strong 3-degree orb. So I'm still advising to not be in very big groups. Okay. Be very mindful of where you're going, who you're around. Mars square Pluto can be associated with war flare ups, violence, attacks, as I said, power struggles. So I'm not calling that in, but I'm just saying astrologically that those are potentials. That's one of the most challenging and malefic aspects. But the positive side of Mars square Pluto, because there's always a positive side, you guys, is it is showing us what is no longer in alignment. It is showing us what is maybe toxic, negative, taking our power away, that it's time to step away from. Okay. And under this Mars square Pluto aspect, there's been a lot of intense shit. Okay. Today, if I'm not mistaken, it got announced that the UK is going to be, and I'm going to use the word trying to implement, because I don't think it's going to work. That's my astrological opinion. I think we're about to see huge revolution and protest in Europe. The UK, one of the first countries saying they're going to implement a digital ID. So Keir Starmer on X posted this: I know you're worried about the level of illegal immigration into this country. Digital ID is another measure to make it tougher to work illegally here, making our borders more secure. Oz is a fairer Britain, built on change, not on division, with 3,400 likes and 16,000 comments, which I'm sure are mostly all very negative comments. This is very Mars square Pluto. Also, the dark side of life is desperate and revealing itself. Pluto in Aquarius, dark side of technology, AI, digital ID, technical control systems. Square Mars, attack, abuse of power. And I know I've said this several times before in videos and on my channel, and I'll just reiterate this again, that when there is a person or a group of people like these governments that are losing their powers, these dark arts people at the moment, that are trying to implement things very fast, notice it's very fast, to control us, that is not coming from a place of power, empowerment, strength. That is coming purely from a place of weakness, very big weakness. Okay. So I've said this before and I'll say it again because I felt it very strongly again today, intuitively. And I've been, along with other astrologers that are like truth speaker astrologers, saying that this time of year, you're going to start to see digital IDs implemented. We actually said that like up to a year ago with the astrology of Pluto in Aquarius and certain transits going on, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We're entering the age of Aquarius. We've got badass aspects waking up humanity. So the dark side is exposing themselves. And it's time now for humanity to stand up against this digital ID and digital control systems. And I'll be screaming off the rooftops about it. I've been speaking out since April 20, actually before that, but in regards to the whole plandemic, I'll use that word. Hopefully my YouTube doesn't get banned. Since April 2025. I want to play this video from, I think this is one of the organizers of, let me bring something up here, you guys. There's going to be a protest in London. Bear with me, everybody. Against the digital IDs in the UK on October 18th. I saw David Icke. Oh my God, David Icke is on a rampage today. Posted this earlier. Where is it? Here it is. Resist digital ID. They fear the people the most when we stand together. Mass non-compliance protest in central London, 1 p.m. Saturday, October 18th. Follow Covey Leaks on X for more information to be announced. So I am thinking about going to that, even though I was just in the UK, because I'm in Belgium at the moment and we need to stand up against this. We cannot give in to a digital ID. Okay. And I want to share this video. I think this is one of the organizers of that protest that's going to be happening. Fiona Rose Diamond, which is at Covey Leaks. She posted this video that I want to share with you guys. Very well spoken on why digital IDs are seriously not good.
Digital ID, one device, one identity, one switch, World Economic Forum, United Nations, Tony Blair Institute, think tanks, globalists, unelected. They draft, they convene, they dictate. Governments obey. Your life itemized, your access permissioned, your future programmable. Scan, tap, prove. Your license, age, job, status, health, education, behaviors, travel, location, purchases, contacts, biometrics, carbon budget, social score, compliance level, programmable central bank digital currency, everything linked, ranked, revocable. At first, optional, then little nudges, rewards, skip the queue if you use it, discount if you use it, access if you use it, then full compliance, mandatory, no opt-out. Soon, social credits, you're a good little citizen, rules, standards, new hoops you must jump through, issued by bodies you didn't elect. Then work, No verified ID, no job. Rent, no scan, no roof. Bank, no verification, funds frozen. Doctor, no match, no care. Travel, carbon quota exceeded, trip cancelled. Geofence enforced. Biometrics, face, voice, fingerprint. Just to make sure it's you. Now you're bound to the system. Logged, tracked, trace. Who you saw, where you were, when you checked in. They call it metadata. Reality, total surveillance. Switches, revocation lists, trust registries, plain English. Someone somewhere can turn you off. Money next. Digital currency, programmable. Only spend on approved things in approved places at approved times. Digital ID plus your money equals control. Crisis, there's always one. Health, security, climate, finance. Each crisis equals a new rule. Temporary turns permanent. Your ID is the master key. Throttle the key and throttle you. Decentralized, interoperable, privacy preserving. That's semantic laundering. In English, it's a people tracking super cookie. Learn their language. They can deny you. They can switch you off. Work off. Rent off. Bank off. Doctor off. Travel off. Speech off. No scan, no service, no app, no life. One switch, everything stops. This isn't convenience. It's
She keeps going on, and I think that's a badass video. Not going to play the whole thing. Very poetic. Thank you, Fiona Rose Diamond, which is at Covey Leaks on X. And do you guys remember how I've been seeing for the whole past couple months? You may have heard me say, if you've been following me for a while, when we get into autumn and winter of 2025, it's going to feel like we're going backwards. I've kept getting that message and seeing it in the astrology. And now with this whole digital ID thing in the UK coming up, it's very similar. It's reminding me of 2020 with the COVID passes and the masks and the mandates. And it's this feeling of, ooh, impending doom, impending control. It's going to seem like we're going back, but we're not actually going back. This is a final test of what timeline are you choosing? Okay. Are you choosing timeline freedom and sovereignty and fairness and Aquarius? Are you choosing light side of Aquarius timeline? Or are you choosing dark side of Aquarius timeline? Technocracy, digital ID, technological control, transhumanism. I know for me, I'm choosing the higher timeline. I'm choosing the higher timeline. So I hope you guys do too. And know that there's so many of us right now that are awake, that are conscious, that are going through the spiritual remembering, our body, mind, spirit connection. You are not alone. None of us are alone. We're so supported in so many ways. So I am with all of you on Team Freedom. Katie says, I don't even have an iPhone. That is amazing. Congratulations. Oh my God. That's amazing. You know, when I first got together with my husband, Jens, he didn't have a smartphone and I thought it was really hot. And he got a smartphone shortly after we got together because we were like in a long distance relationship. Oh my God, Debbie, you don't either? You guys rock. That's so cool. And yeah, it was just easier for us to communicate when we were separated for months on end with a smartphone. But I think it's so cool that some of you guys don't have a smartphone. That's awesome. What else? Oh, there was something else I wanted to share with you guys. Another part of my prediction with the eclipse season of this month seems to be coming true. So some of you guys may remember over a year ago, I said, watch out for September 2025. We're going to have major advancements in the medical field, including I personally felt positive news treatments around autism and cancer. I said those two things specifically. And today, breaking, the state of Florida is launching a study, an official study on ivermectin to see if it can potentially cure cancer. This is huge. Now, I know many of you, like myself, might actually know somebody personally or publicly that has used ivermectin for cancer, and it's worked. So this is amazing that this is happening. And just want to play this little clip. This is Ron DeSantis's wife, Governor Ron DeSantis's wife. I'm having a brain fart what her name is. Maybe someone let me know in the chat if you know. Let's take a little listen what she has to say. This amazing news looking into ivermectin as a treatment.
It's so important. So that's one of the components of this first round of grants that are going out. And then the second portion of this, and honestly, I've had so many people come up to me and talk about this, and that is the generic drug repurposing component of this grant. And so that's specifically for things like ivermectin. So I know that that's been in the news quite a bit. It made a lot of news during COVID. Mel Gibson was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about people that he was friends with, and they overcame stage 4 cancer. And so here's like my perspective, and I've talked to the Surgeon General about this. Like, that's generic form. I think it costs like 77 cents per pill. Is there any incentive on the part of some to want to research this when you're not guaranteed to have a big ROI, right? If you have a novel technology or a pharmaceutical and you have that monopoly and that competitive edge, well, then you're probably going to make a lot more money. If you're researching like something like ivermectin that's generic, are you going to be able to find a study that you can get the money to be able to fund it, but are you guaranteed revenue for your company going down in the future? I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that we should look at it. We should look at the benefits of it. We shouldn't just speculate and guess. We should, as the state of Florida, with over $1 billion in funding since Ron DeSantis took office for cancer, we should be looking into things that are in generic form. And do they show outcomes? And do they show hope for people who are suffering? And we're uniquely positioned to do that because we're not in it for an ROI from a corporate standpoint. We're in it for an ROI on behalf of you, the taxpayer, and you who has a family member who's suffering from cancer. And God forbid that you suffer from cancer. And so that's why I think we're uniquely positioned to be able to help people. And I'm just, honestly, I don't like talking about cancer ever. I told Dr. Panetta on more than one occasion, I'd rather sit in my closet and never say the cancer word again. But I am so immensely proud of what this state has done to really step up, to try to provide hope to a lot of people, to invest in meaningful things. It's one thing to appropriate money, but it's another thing to drive outcomes, to hold yourself accountable, and to try to incentivize prevention and better treatment. So very proud of this guy for a lot of reasons, because he put up with me while I was battling cancer, but very proud of what he's done to really stand by me through the fight and to give hope to a lot of people across the state.
Love it. And I think that is Ron DeSantis's wife, right? Called Casey, or maybe someone that really looks like her from the government of Florida. I think that's her. And didn't she have cancer at one point? Carol, hello. Carol says, only my opinion, know your astrological chart. Study your chart through the lessons that Meg offer really helps to create your personal higher timeline, wisdom of the higher soul journey. Very wise, Carol. I totally agree with you for sure. Yes. So yeah, let's pull some cards for this weekend ahead. See what the universe wants us to know as we're at the end of September. We got the moon in Sag, Mars square Pluto, still in the energy of these eclipses. Do you guys like my new spooky season background? I'm very happy with it. I got very excited setting it up today. Oh, we've got a card that's flipped over. Interesting. Okay. What is our guidance for this weekend? Page of Pentacles. I pulled him yesterday. 5 of Pentacles. 6 of Cups. Interesting. Page of Swords. Wow. 2 pages with 5 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups. Isn't that curious? Isn't that interesting? Remain calm. Remain calm. Remain cool. Remain collected. Stay connected to your inner child. Be open. Remain open to new ideas, new thoughts, new ways of doing things, new income. I'm feeling like there may be many of you out there where there can be a lot of uncertainty in like income or work at the moment. having to do with AI or having to do with technological changes that can be a little scary if we've been used to a certain way of doing things for a really long time. That can make us feel like, oh my God, am I going to go out on the streets and not have anything and be this beggar in the snow in the middle of winter? No, that's not happening. I'm also feeling from this Five of Pentacles and Six of Cups together, again, going back to that theme of it can feel like we're going backwards. It can be, it's kind of like PTSD. I don't know about you guys, but when I saw that digital ID stuff today, I knew we were coming up to it astrologically. I'm like, when are they going to try to pull this digital ID BS? But it's kind of a little bit of a PTSD for those of us that went through 2020, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, and saw through it, spoke out about it, were called crazy, right? It's kind of like, oh my God, here we go again. Another thing to stand up to. And this is very intense, right? The themes of the past are coming up. There's things from the past that we're processing through, so that we can move forward with new life, new energy, options. People are literally, with every decision we make, we are shifting timelines. Every decision you make, you are shifting timelines. Quantum physics, spiritual science, Aquarius, is the real science. Three of Cups. Celebrate life. This is a weekend. Celebrate life. Have fun. Be mindful of where you're going, Mars square Pluto, who you're around. But this is a weekend. The more you raise your vibration, the more you celebrate life. Every decision you make is determining what kind of timeline you're on. You know, the darker energies on the planet right now are being starved because we're in this Age of Aquarius frequency. So that dark side showing itself, trying to do all these crazy ass rules, mandates, new laws, technocracy, it's weak. It's very, very weak. So keep your vibe high. If you get ever overcome by information, social media, news, take a step back. Do something that raises your vibe. I think that's why we're here, me personally. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me for another daily astrology horoscope. This one for our weekend of September 27th to 28th. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me, check out my offerings, social media links. That's all in the description box below. And also, in particular, go check out my husband Jens's new course. I'm very, very proud of him. 14 days to a higher vibration. And he's got a very informative introduction video over on the site. Link is in the description box below. And it's unlimited replay access. You get access to his community as well. Katie says, I just signed up for Jens's course. It looks like a great course, 14 days and so much information to apply in life. So worth it. I agree with you, Katie. Jens has been working on this for, I think, the whole past year, and he's put so much energy into it. I've been telling him, anybody who takes your course, they're definitely going to get a lot out of it. It is so, so worth it. So something for you guys to check out if you'd like to. And I'll see you all on Sunday for our next weekly astro weather. Sending lots of love and light your way, and see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.